Welcome to the Out There channel, live stream 24. I'm just going to do my usual checks and cue some music, but it's all looking good so far anyway. I don't know who's going to join us tonight. I'm just going to cover what's been going on recently since the last stream and update some things and maybe do some research on videos. The sound still peaks, but not much I can do about that. It's lunchtime New Zealand. I guess it's probably 1 in the morning UK. And USA. I guess it's in afternoon to evening. This is a different time slot to what I normally do. Just trying out something different for the weekend.
Eggs, toast, gas, fish, what's your favourite dish? Come on. Eggs, toast, gas, fish, what's your favourite dish? Come on. Eggs, toast, gas, fish, what's your favourite dish? Come on. Eggs, toast, gas, fish, what's your favourite dish? Eggs, toast, gas, fish, what's your favourite dish? Come on. Eggs, toast, gas, fish, what's your favourite dish? Eggs, toast, gas, fish, what's your favourite dish? Come on. Eggs, toast, gas, fish, what's your favourite dish? Eggs, toast, gas, fish, what's your favourite dish? Come on. Eggs, toast, gas, fish, what's your favourite dish? Eggs, toast, gas, fish, what's your favourite dish? Come on. Eggs, toast, gas, fish, what's your favourite dish? Eggs, toast, gas, fish, what's your favourite dish? Come on. Eggs, toast, gas, fish, what's your favourite dish?
Right, I'll just keep in the music.
Come on. Eggs, toast, gas, fish.
And switch to the desktop. Now, what's that still going? Right. Looks like it's all going. Hope you all been good since last chatted. It was a last long stream last time. It's about 4 hours plus 4.5. It's amazing how much time flies by when you're on live streams, especially if you have a few guests on the side. Hey, we got someone on the side already. Justin Jones, what's up? Nothing. Just waking up from last night. How about yourself? Whereabouts you from? So we got a couple of people watching, according to the stats anyway. What is the times around the world at the moment? Let's see if I can paste it across. I should bookmark this one actually. And here we go. How's it looking? Normally it corrupts the screen, Google. We're on the Hangouts here, and it only does 720p, but it also messes around with the bandwidth and it can pixelate on the screen. It can be hard to read the characters sometimes. So South Africa early in the mornings, Spain early in the morning, UK 1 a.m. There might be some people from there who are still up. It's heading into dinner time in America, depending on what side you are. California, New York, 8 p.m. I suppose most people will be out drinking and partying. Canada, 6 p.m. Pretty much the same as USA. I should did a bookmark it. Let's bookmark it so I don't have to keep finding it. Okay. Same for him. Now, there's been a thing that's been going viral about Buzz Aldrin saying that we haven't been to the moon, but it seems that it was taken out of context. And if you listen to the full interview, you can see that the girl is asking about why we haven't returned to the moon, and he didn't add the word return. He's saying why we haven't been to the moon. So the conspiracy sites have taken it out of context and trying to make a few bucks off it, and flat earthers and all that. So this guy here does a pretty good debunk. I'll play some of it. Let's see if the sound works.
I'm a bit shaken right now. Some of you may have heard about this Buzz Aldrin video getting some play. Apparently, some 3 years ago, Buzz Aldrin did an interview with a little girl at a book festival, and he said some devastating things.
What is your favorite thing about space?
Go in there. Go in there. because not many people have been there. It's nice to do something that other people haven't done.
No, that's not it.
People had gone up and down without staying in orbit. People, dogs and monkeys, people, Russian Yuri Gagarin.
No.
So we did send people, and they went around the moon.
This one?
Then we sent people, another crew, to go around the moon and then practice everything but landing.
Oh, this is the painful thing.
You're floating because there's no gravity, but that's just a description. There is gravity all the way out to the moon and beyond.
No, that's just science.
Neil Armstrong, Mike Collins, and Buzz Aldrin the opportunity to make an attempt to make the first landing. And all of us want to succeed, and we did.
Huh. Wait, what am I supposed to be upset about? Don't tell me someone has found some snippet to take out of context and is standing around grinning because he thinks he's found something. Okay, go ahead.
Let's get to it.
Why has nobody been to the moon in such a long time?
That's not an 8-year-old's question. That's my question. I want to know what I think I know. Because we didn't go there, and we didn't go there, and
because we didn't go there,
and that's the way it happened. And if it didn't happen, it's nice to know why it didn't happen. So in the future, if we want to keep doing something, we need to know why something stopped in the past that we wanted to keep
not
going.
Playing both of us.
Huh. Yeah, I can see how that could sound bad if that was the entire interview. But didn't he just speak of going to the moon a few minutes prior?
Make an attempt to make the first landing.
Okay, so you heard enough of that. I've posted a link in the site so you can listen to more of it. It goes on with more questions after that one. And it also says that he went to the moon after that question as well. So, sorry, just got interrupted by someone. So, yeah, who we got down the side here? Justin Jones. We were told to return there until as a human race, as a country such as USA. Well, who told them? I think that's just stories that people have made up on conspiracy sites. Is there any Freedom of Information Act or NASA speaking of that they were told not to return to the moon? It's a good idea, assuming that we've got alien bases on the dark side of the moon and they've been monitoring them and we're told to get off. But yeah, as you can see, that clip it's gone viral, and he wasn't saying that we hadn't been to the moon at all. Now, that one was doing the rounds yesterday, so I just got to bring that to your attention. Also, looks like I need to bookmark. How do we get that up? Well, we're looking at some videos from the big channels out there. Secureteam 10 about the image on Mars, so bring that back up again. Which one was it now? I think it might have been that one. Yeah. Was it this one? Maybe not. Might have been the one before. Might be this one. Let's have a look. It's not that one. This one. Yep, NASA. It's got NASA, so it's probably this one. This one with the square. Oh, started playing. So where's a close-up of it? Here one. So if you have a look closely at this one here, you can see that it's got a mound in it, just like the rest of the Mars picture, if you have Moon picture, if you have a look at it, which just means there's a camera artifact that's happened here where it's lost the color of that particular scan from the satellite passing overhead. Now what they do is it only has a certain amount of memory on board. You've got to remember these were probably sent into space a long time ago, when early cameras were around. They still were cutting edge of the time. And what that does is it transmits the image back to Earth rather than store it. Obviously, no one's going to collect it if it's orbiting. So it sends it back, and sometimes information gets corrupted. So because the satellite's passed or the buffer's got full, it can't resend it back. So if you coloured that all grey in there, it'd probably be like the other mounds on the surface, all craters. You can see here, there's a few around here. That's zoomed out though. Yeah, you can see a few here. So all around the place. They'll probably get corrected anyway. And then he goes on about the old footage that he put up a long time ago, even though it's been also debunked. Must be further up, is it? So this one. There we go. This thing he claims to be a photograph under someone's arm. Here. Now, it's been debunked before, and I've told you about UFO interest. He's a big debunker of Secureteam and a few of the other big channels out there, making sure the truth is being told. I'll post his Twitter link down the side. So he's one to follow. And if you go down here, he talks about this particular image as well. So, not sure if you can read that, but I'll zoom in the latest video, Secureteam 10 published an artifact of Google Moon mistaken for a square building. That's what I was just talking about. You also published the old fake news about the previous building I often reported as a mark for the Centera impact in 2009. So basically it's like where they were going to drop this device on the moon, and that was just a target pad. So if you go to his other links, it probably explains it in more detail. NASA photograph. So it would be there. So let's go to the next link. So they weren't hiding it. Obviously, it's available publicly. Targeting coordinates, timing, and finder charts for the LC cross center. I suppose that's how you say it. So it's not hidden, but it's well published on the net. Post the PDF down the side for you. But you could probably find the link yourself from UFO interest. See, they've got lots of technical information here. Impact by a red circle. Not sure I could see a red circle unless it's further down. Oh, there it is. And impact indicated by the blue circle. Oh, right. So they say that where they wanted it to go and where it ended up eventually, I guess. Looks like someone's at the door. You probably can hear the dog going crazy. So they got quite a lot of technical information on NASA website there. So someone that's doing a UFO channel should really do all this kind of research before they go out and make a conspiracy of it all. And you can see from those photographs, of course, that there was no building. That's basically what he's pointing out here. You can see there's no building. There's it where it landed, and you can see there's no building. I suppose it's further up there. No square building. And I suppose that one's closer up. Let's see. All right, so that must be that. So no square. That's where they wanted it to go, I guess. And that's where it ended up slightly out. Wonder why it went off course. And when you see the computers they used to have on these old craft, it's no surprising really. I think they only had like 1K of memory, some of these things. Early space shuttle. There's a couple of other interesting things he had up here as well. Since last time we looked. What's this one? Also another Secureteam 10 one. Which was on UFO Stalker. All right. Ice particles passing the window, wasn't it? Again, we've covered that lots of times. As you know, rocket fuel is hydrogen plus oxygen, creates water, and heat, which pushes the craft along. That's why you get a load of white smoke when the rockets launch, SpaceX and Space Shuttle in the past. Of course, when it's in space, it's so cold out there that it freezes. And also, it's known to bubble. You may have heard about space bubbles, where they're claiming it's being filmed underwater. What happens is the heat of the sun hits the ice particle and causes it to fizz as it's heating up, creates it back into steam, pushes the particle along, or makes it pop, basically. And sometimes you see them on film, which is quite an interesting effect. And of course, the conspiracy people say that it's no such thing as being in space. We know that's not true. And this one here is quite an interesting one on lens flare. It's a good example. Also was submitted to MUFON. And you can see here, these bright lights are going to shine into the camera lens of the digital camera. And of course, lens artifacts. And he's lining up the lights upside down because inside the camera it inverts. And you can see that the lights match up. I'll just zoom in on that one. And that light there, obviously, is slightly different angle, so it doesn't show up on the film. MUFON gets quite a lot of these lens flare ones. Pretty cool, but not UFO, unfortunately. Is that still working? I'll just double check. Looks like we scared off a few people, have we? Don't want to hear the truth. Oh no. Can't have the truth. Gotta keep our fantasy going. Yeah. That's interesting. Let's playing that. Alright. That's the auto-played it. Might need to get a drink. So that was last time. So we got something new that's popped up as well. About the beaches. What's that got to do with UFOs? Who knows? And if we scroll through, he puts up a news report. Now, we've had beaches erode all over the world like this. You get a storm, changes the undersea scape, and can cause the beach to erode away in a big storm. All they do is re-dredge it. I think New Zealand had one beach that had the same. And also Kaikoura, we had an earthquake up there recently, and I think the sea level dropped by a couple of meters, which would be about the same distance as this beach. Anyway, but further on, he talks about this here, about the water vanishing and leaving all the boats high and dry. This is a known artifact, a known natural phenomenon that happens every year and around supermoons, I think it is. Probably about to find out. I think I posted links on my Twitter probably a year ago since he's put that on it. But he still hasn't corrected his information here. Obviously, driving the fear-mongering conspiracy theories about quakes and the world changing. Sonic booms, again, we've talked about before. It can be either meteorites, jets, and mini earthquakes, which don't get registered by the monitoring station unless you've got a local one. Of course, USA are probably quite new to earthquakes, but New Zealand, we're just used to them. I think we had probably 100,000 quakes since the big one. Little ones that you don't feel every day. Some that makes your house go wobble sometimes and it makes a boom sound. But it depends how close to fault lines you are, or mini fault lines. But we'll see if we can find this information about, even though it's not on UFOs, about beaches going like this. We probably didn't get too many views on that one. 300k. He's dropping down all the time by the looks of it, because there's no UFO news in it. So, before I leave, was there anything new on third phase as well? We'll come back to them. So, where was it? South America. Best place to do your own research. Hashtag question everything. He probably got the information from one of these newspapers. But he's not the only one that's put up information by the looks of it. South America. So that was August 2017. So that must have been when he put the video up last time. What was the location? Brazil. Uruguay. Yeah, see, he's got the wrong information too. It's obviously to do with the pull of the moon. As it gets closer to the Earth, the water is attracted by gravity. Let's see. Gotta have the right keywords. I think it's supermoon it happens on. Yeah, they're talking about the king tide here. Pounds Beaches. I know I have found the article before. I'm not too sure what keywords I used. Ocean. This shows this is why we have tides in the first place. It's all related to the moon. We'll have a different planet if we didn't have a moon. I wonder what happened if we had two moons. I suppose you have more violent oceans. Oh, there you go. It was on that one. Watching their beaches disappear and unlikely to see. Gold Coast, they're talking about being heavily eroded by a king tide driven by the moon at the closest distance to the Earth. So that beach that lost its, that beach that disappeared in America, wasn't there a solar eclipse happening a couple of days ago? So that means more than likely that beach erosion, just like the same here in Australia, Gold Coast, is related to the moon, creating strong tides. So it looks like it's not all a mystery after all. You can see it's way up, the waves are way up higher on the beach, and of course it's going to suck it out. So that was in January of this year, so it's not abnormal to have beaches disappear. And it's nothing to do with aliens or UFOs. Likewise, if the water's being pushed in places, it's also going to be sucked out in places. I'm just trying to find that particular link. Now, you might just have to take my word for it. Do your own research. Let's try that. So it's saying again, so it probably is it Brazil. Like it happens every so many years or yearly. This probably is a conspiracy website. Strange, yeah. This one won't have the solution. Maybe it will. No. It's just propagation of fake news again. End times, fear mongering. All the conspiracy theories coming out. So he's talking about that the Earth mass is lowering or rising or sinking due to earthquakes and whatnot. They did have a few quakes out that way. Probably someone down here has probably posted the link that explains it. Great flood. No. Again, return partially. Again, it depends how close the moon is. I'll go over lots of caps here. Oh, no one's talking about the moon, unfortunately. Here we go, Scientific American. What has some sense in the head? What year was that one? because it happens throughout. So that was back in 2013. And now they got stupid pop-up. Bugger off. That's why Australia's beaches washed away, I guess. So they're talking about global warming. That's the sea levels are rising. Instead of rising, they fell. So, what's the bottom line, guys? There's a lot of reading here. So it's on about rainfall. So they're saying a lot of rain fell in Australia. So that's where the extra water disappeared to. Fell on the mass of Australia. I think that's only just part of it, though. Also, it's to do with the moon. That was a few years ago, that report. I think moon persons. When it's closest, the tide's lower. Super moon. Looks like we're not going to be able to find a particular link. We've got a year off. Google other links in the way. But I think you understand. There are various factors anyway. How much falls on the land, pools into lakes, rather than goes back into the sea from rivers. How close the moon is. Plates under the ground can lift and rise land masses slightly. Melting ice caps can increase the water as well. So I was going to look at how do UFOs cloak was a subject I was going to look into. There was something else I was meant to bring up. Tick. So I always wondered why we're getting less of these pictures like we used to do in the past. A lot of people said they were models. But could it be that they've improved their technology in the last 60 years, like we have, and now have cloaking to visible light? So they're flying around, but we can't see them. And you can see here already in searches. We've got some current research in 2017, 2018. Toyota just patented in a cloaking device. So we'll have a look at that stuff. Now with LEDs getting better as well, there's no reason why the skin of a tank or big aircraft couldn't actually become an LCD screen and project what's above to underneath. So as technology improves, obviously what we thought was impossible is very possible. So what are they saying here? For cloaking devices that conceal spaceships to Harry Potter's hand, disappearing blanket, or the One Ring and its power to conceal its wearer. The company recently acquired a patent from the US Patent and Trademark. My wife opens up. Nope. The link is dead. So I have to keep reading. Apparatus and methods for making an object appear transparent, which Toyota filed last June 2017. Seems exciting, especially since it's a car maker working on an invisibility tech or cloaking device. So if companies are now working on this, probably the American military have been using it for a much longer period and already figured it out. Otherwise, they get what, trillions of dollars every year in budget, and they get all the scientists working in the underground bases. If it's true, according to Earl from MUFON's mother, who said she went to a mole underground secret base out in the desert. If you're not listening to the episode, go and find it on the channel. So, not meant to turn cars invisible. Well, at least not all of them. Yeah, probably military ones. Describes a cloaking device designed to turn vehicles, A-pillars to the left and right of the car's dashboard invisible, improving road visibility for the driver. Wonder how that's going to work. So it doesn't change it from the outside, only inside. So they're converting it into a screen, just like I was saying before. It's like a CMOS sensor on the outside and LEDs on the inside. According to Yoda, such technology is already possible. The Rochester cloak would require video cameras and other expensive equipment for it to work in cars. This cloaking device, on the other hand, would be a less expensive solution. It would use mirrors to bend visible light around the A-pillars to allow the drivers to see through them. This would give drivers a wider view. Light from an object side of the cloaking device. Within the cloaking region and forms an image on an image. So the bending light. Let's have a look. So they've got a YouTube of it. Yes, we know that. Yes, I know they've been doing tanks. Let's see if we can find that video. Let's give it. Metamaterial. That's a term we've heard from To the Stars. They talked about metamaterial. So they put it in metamaterial around object, causes it to bend the light. Carbon fibers. So probably enough of that one. So didn't really tell us how it's going to work. What's it saying here? They're working on mimicking the biology of moths' eyes to turn lenses and glass invisible. And our group from the University of California is controlling how light reflects on objects using a thin carpet cloak made from Teflon and ceramic particles. So that was last year. Now see there's another link here. Talking about start of this year. It's middle of last year, so see what this one says. And they're calling them metalenses. Meta. Shape light. So already seen that demo. Bended light around the hand. Looks like it's a similar article to what was written last year. Looks like we got some experiment photographs, is it? And what's interesting is they just CERN disproved that light can go faster than the speed of light. I should put the article up too. But that sort of changes everything that we thought. Probably search on it. I don't know, I'll just find the link. I put it up yesterday. So it means Einstein's E equals mc squared isn't quite right. That was the other thing I was meant to bring up first before I started talking about cloaking, but I forgot. This link here, hopefully. But if you ever followed my stuff anyway, I've always said that the speed of light can change. Tesla documentary I talked about his ether concept, and that it controls the speed of light in regions. So the speed of light has been broken. 16 nanoseconds. Doesn't sound like much, but it sort of blows science out a bit. They'll probably say it's an experiment error, probably. Neutron and photon. So particle went faster than the light, the same. Hey, Rene. Yeah, it's all going good. I just covered some Secureteam 10 rubbish debunks on it. about the beach, and also about the moon artifact. As I was saying last time, I bet Scott Brando brings out a debunk on that, and sure enough, he did. So you'd have to go back and watch it. But yeah, we're talking about UFO cloaking at the moment. I thought more people would have joined us tonight, but obviously not. I'm trying a new time slot, like I said I would be. So, we're looking at cloaking, seeing what's been invented out there. Oh, where's it gone? Alright. But I got sidetracked about this one, about faster than light. That they measured a particle going faster than photon, which we sort of knew anyway. So that changes the age of the universe and Big Bang and lots of other things. So I posted a link just underneath you there. You can have a read on the side if you haven't heard about it. There we got an annoying pop-up here. So it sounds like cloaking technology. A lot of people have got different variations working there. And you can bet they'll be using it on military craft. So not only will stealth craft be radar invisible, it'll be normal light spectrum invisible as well. And they probably will even be able to disguise the heat temperature from the planes as well. Infrared. Especially if they use non-jet fuel engines, of course. I don't think iron engines, which they were mucking around with, I don't think they produce too much heat. Makes you wonder what's flying around above us now. But I think if UFOs have cloaking, right, we're not going to see them. And the people that catch them up close is people like Mojo. And even then, people are skeptical that he faked it. And that was at night time. So, and then we still couldn't see any reflections of body work. And there was some bright spotlights and lights on the craft. But we've been over that before. People claiming it's an ambulance. But I don't know how he managed to do not getting any reflections off the bodywork. So I think it might be legit or a very clever hoax. So lenses are the thing for cloaking now. Guiding light of various wavelengths to the proper location to get a distortion-free outcome. As Star Trek first envisioned, it took centuries for cloaking technology to be perfected. On Earth here, it may require a mere decade or two. If the latest meta-lenses advance can be rapidly applied to metamaterial cloaks, An optical 3D cloaking device may become a reality in humans' very near future. PhD, astrophysicist. I know there's years ago that there was a video of a tank. They turned it on and it just went invisible. I'll see if I can find it actually. Might still be on YouTube. Oh well. Invisible. Tank. Could that be it there? Looks like I corrected my spelling mistake. I've got images of it. Let's have a look at the images first. Looks very stealthy tank. I know they had blow-up tanks for, was it the Middle East? They used to blow up tanks. Not actually explode them, like, but actually have blow-up ones that blow up with hot air. It makes it look like they've got hundreds of tanks on the ground to aircraft and whatnot, just to try and trick them. Oh, let's just click on one of these links. I think we're going to have to look at a video of it. Oh, that's useless. Looks like it links to a video. Well, let's have a look. So what year was this? 2016. Iron Man. Battle suits. Yeah, that'd probably be the next thing. Bulletproof and invisible. I suppose all this comes from black projects. Floating cities. How would they power that? You need fusion reactors by then, I suppose. They're not too far away either. Another 10, 20 years. The old nuclear power plants will be replaced. But we're meant to be seeing an invisible tank. Now, what happened to that? Yeah, it's just talking about everything else, isn't it? So, looks like not going to show us how it works. So where's the search page gone? Now I was trying to find that video of the first prototype. I saw it years ago too, and it was really good. Wasn't perfectly invisible, but it certainly made it very hard to see. So let's go through some of these. Maybe it's in here. It looks like a game. 2011 could be that one. I know they've been around for a while. Looks similar to the other tank. Looks like it was from a TV. It's very blurry. So here they're saying they're making it invisible to infrared. But I was looking for the one that makes it invisible to the eye as well. That would make it hard to see at night time though, if they can cloak it from night vision. Then if they got that technology back in 2011, that sort of makes it possible for stealth craft not to be seen in night vision goggles when people are sky watching. That could explain why they suddenly see a flash of light and triangle craft suddenly appearing in the sky. But that's not the video I saw. Maybe it's called active camouflage. They didn't call it invisible back then. Let's have a look through the list though. You're talking about the same tank. So the first report was back in 2011, and they're still talking about the same tanks for infrared in 2016. What's this one here? Also, it's talking about infrared again. Yeah, infrared again. I think it must have been called active camouflage. Now look, it disappeared. The tank vanished. They must be using it on these new planes, so. But we want one for visible light, not just infrared. I'm sure I've seen a video of it. Looks like again. India. What's this one? So camouflage, so that could be the one. 2017. So demonstrate it to us then. All this lead up rubbish. I don't think this is it either. I think they're talking about the infrared one again. Oh, did it go underwater then? The tank can submerge. But going underwater. Must be why they've got long antennas on them so they can breathe. Ah. That's not the one I was looking for either. Let's call it active camouflage, maybe. So let's have a look at this one. Let's look at that metamaterial stuff. They spent $5 billion on camo. That's just for the uniforms. I don't think this is it either. I suppose it's really hard to get footage out of what's being researched. Ah, that's interesting. Man with invisibility. Yeah, look, running up. Not quite invisible. So it is bending light. Look, let's see if we can zoom in on it. Not the best quality film. So if they're doing that now, it's only going to get better. And that's wearable cloaking. So makes troops invisible. But we're looking for the tank one, nanotechnology. Invisibility cloak. Let's try tank. I think they're applying the same cloak to tank surface. But can't find that video anymore. What's this one here? Is that the same one? Yeah, yeah, it is. Same image as what we saw already. No point in going over that again. I was not going to not find that video. British Army. So that's probably what they're doing. So they're basing it on nature. Nature already figured it out. You know, the squid and these fish can change their various scales on their body to match the colors behind them. Let's have a look at that one anyway. There's a fish down here. Yeah, I thought it was going to be a bit better than that. Well. But it was going to be a professional video. It's not. I know it was on a news clip when I saw it. It was pretty awesome. Even back years ago. So they're saying cuttlefish camouflage. They're like a squid octopus. So what they're saying here. See, they got little scales just like on fish. Thermal electric pixels on the tanks of more than 1,000 5.5-inch hexagonal tiles made of thermoelectric material gives the tank its invisibility or active camouflage. But it again is infrared though, isn't it? Apart from the invisible power, quick to the ability to shapeshift to the eyes of the infrared. So they're saying it's working across multiple spectrums and matches the temperature of surrounding temperatures. So I think it's what we're seeing already. Is that the guy of Top Gear? Looks similar to him anyway. That must be a fish tank, is it? A cuttlefish. Changing its skin to match the floor. It's not doing a very good job though, is it? So they're now got active camouflage as well as making infrared invisible on night scopes. And yeah, there's no reason why stealthcraft as well as alien technology don't have the same. And that could be why we don't see them during the day like we used to years ago. Does that mean that a lot of the craft that have been photographed are military, our own? Are you still out there, Rene, or have you moved on? So I was trying to find that video I saw years ago, but it's not coming up in the searches. So it looks like it started, the invisible cloak started coming out in 2010. So they've had, what, 8 years to work on it. And it's talking about the same thing all the time. So we need an update on it, really. Just shows a lot of these news sites copy each other, the same article, and just goes round and round. So here they've got the experiment set up with the lenses. I think they've come a lot further than great big lenses like this. I suppose it gives the idea though. Lenses would be replaced by metamaterials, as they were talking about, and LEDs. Just put it on the skin of the craft. So it's not really science fiction anymore then. So we found out something new anyway. Metalenses they're called. So let's search for that. So now we've got quantum tunneling to allow solids pass through solids. Now we've got metalenses to make things invisible. Instead of a curved piece of glass, you have a layer of transparent quartz thinner than a human hair. That's why they can make cloaks. Coated in millions of tiny pillars of titanium dioxide. The pillar or towers are arranged in patterns so that when light hits them, they can slice it up and focus it. Each specific pattern focuses a different color of light. In essence, the pillars do the same thing to incoming light that a glass lens does, only without all that glass. Instead of a hefty chunk of material, you have a paper-thin, glitter-sized disc. So now it's making it practical, like we were saying before about that big thick lens. And now they're using this new way of optics. In my opinion, this technology will be a game changer. Yep. Quality of our images are actually better than with a state-of-art optical lens. So that means cameras are going to get better. Digital cameras. So not only are they using it for invisibility skins, to bend light around object. There's all little prisms, mirrors, they said. Camera sensors, LCD screens. That was 2016. So all these different science technologies are all coming together. Wafer thin metalenses. Interesting stuff. Nanotech. So that's also where it's going to kick into. Nano machines. And better surgical equipment for operations. Imagine swallowing a pill. It could go to blood. They could check out the insides and just have it permanently floating around your system. Be like that movie where they shrink down the submarine into the guy. What's it called now? Fantastic Voyage. So let's put metalenses and invisibility. I think we read that before, didn't we? Top one, yep. Let's have a look at that one. That was February this year. I suppose they got it on silicon chips now then. If it's nano, yep, using nanofilms to bend light. Well, this invisibility to radar, which is basically just a form of long wavelength electromagnetic radiation, might be seen by some as the first step to finally releasing cloaking technology over the past years. The rapid development of nanoscale metamaterials, that is, materials with strange properties not found in nature, are helping us accomplish new amazing things, and one of them is helping us control and manipulate light. So it's real. Interesting. Titanium, though. Why titanium? Because it's strong? Post that one in the side because that's quite a good one. Don't know if anyone's watching, but I'll just carry on. Why'd they use titanium though? Titanium. What's the reason? I suppose it's quite expensive too. What's going on? Put that's it. Now let's find out about titanium then. The name was derived from the Titans, the sons of Earth. The melting point's very high. A hard, shiny, and strong metal. It's as strong as steel, but much less dense. It's therefore important as an alloy and agent with many metals, including aluminium. These alloys are mainly used in aircraft, spacecraft, and missiles because of their low density and ability to withstand extremes of temperature. They're also used in golf clubs, laptops, bicycles, and crutches. Power plant condensers use titanium pipes because of their resistance to corrosion. Because titanium has excellent resistance to corrosion, and seawater is used in desalination plants and to protect the hulls of ships, submarines, and also they use it for bones, don't they? Titanium metal connects well with bone. There you go. So it's found surgical applications such as joint replacements. Why does it connect with bone though? All metals are crystals. You probably didn't know that. The largest use of titanium is in the form of titanium oxide. It's typically used as a pigment in house paint. So it's a bit of waste using it on that. Titanium is the 9th most abundant element on Earth. I thought it was rare. It's almost always present in igneous rocks and sediments derived from them. It's made commercially by reducing titanium chloride with magnesium. So I guess SpaceX would be using quite a bit of it. Now, that brings me up to a point. Rene said last time that helium is explosive. And this is why they use it in airships, because it's not explosive. Helium. Let's clear that up as well while we're at it. Helium, from Greek sun, is a chemical element with symbol He and atomic number 2. It's colorless, odorless, tasteless, non-toxic, inert, monoatomic gas. So what's inert mean? It means it's not explosive, isn't it? After helium, hydrogen is the second lightest, the second abundant element in the observed universe, being present at 24% of the total elementary mass, which is almost 12 times the mass of all the heaviest elements combined. So what's inert? Inert gas is a gas which does not undergo chemical reactions under a set of given conditions. The noble gases often do not react with many substances and were historically referred to as the inert gases. Inert gases are used generally to avoid unwanted chemical reactions degrading a sample. So if it can't be combined with other elements, that means it can't combine with oxygen, which means it can't be explosive. And you see here, they use it in welding. That would surely make it explode. Yes, tungstens are welding. Inert gases are used to shield the tungsten from contamination. Shields the fluid metal created from the arc. Yeah, it didn't really make it clear that it doesn't explode though. But you can always type it in Google. Probably there on the page somewhere. I hate this keyboard. So, helium is a special gas called a noble gas, which means it does not burn. But when a match is held near a hydrogen-filled balloon, boom. So that's why the German Zeppelins exploded, because they used hydrogen, but nowadays they use helium. It's not as light as hydrogen, but it's safe. So that's why airships could do a comeback, you see. Or they could use helium in these black triangle craft even to make them lighter. It might be why they're massive, you see. So it could be human technology, the triangle UFOs. Lighter than air can be used to inflate airships, blimps, and balloons. And it's non-flammable. So there you go, Rene. Just thought I'd like to point that out to you, because you said in the chat last time that it was. they're still mucking around with blimps. Wasn't the Google talking about airships for delivery? Or was it Amazon? Yeah, looks like Google were working on one. I think Amazon was as well. There you go, Google. Airlander. So what was the goal of theirs? A billionaire who favors dark attire and once leapt out of an airplane wearing Google Glass to promote the launch of the wearable. A personal project. I think Amazon we're looking at too. Let's see what we can find. It was Amazon. Amazon plans giant airship warehouse. I suppose they used drones as well. That doesn't look too big. Delivery drones. Let's have a look at this image. I suppose it's possible. Looks like they clipped the bay underneath the airship. So it must return back to the main warehouse and tops up again. Cruising at 45,000 feet above the ground, they would be supported by a fleet of smaller vehicles taking drone supplies and even workers to and from the large hubs. Interesting. Makes you wonder if they'll be been experimenting with those, and some of the sightings that we're getting could be related to their prototypes. Well, aircraft are flying about 30,000 to 38,000 feet, so they'd have to put them above the aircraft flight paths. So they reckon they're 2 years away. Well, it's 2 years now since that idea was floated. What year was it? A year ago. So next year, maybe we'll have Amazon airships that will be coming in as UFO reports, no doubt. Well, I think we covered quite a bit on this. I always like the airships, steampunk. So, yeah. So we'll look at stealth plane cloaking. China steals the cloak from Americas. We'll talk about the radar, I think. Is it still working? A bit funny then. Okay, I'll say it's still working. Ba, 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 ba. Not much. Looks like it's gone into a subscribe button. Bye bye. Looks like we can't find much about this meta skin. They call it there. Looks like the metamaterials went back to 2009. Yeah, looks like we're not going to get much more information on cloaking anyway. But it's not sci-fi anymore, that's for sure. Let's search it down to past month. Let's see if anything pops up. June, so here we go. New approach to invisible cloaking could be used. To secure data. And what's that about? Broadband wave illuminates an object, reflects green light, making the object detectable by a server monitoring the wave. So now they're applying the idea of that wavelength hider to computer data by the looks of it. With fiber optics. This concept theory could be extended to make 3D objects invisible from all directions. A significant step in the development of the practical invisibility cloaking technologies. Most current cloaking devices can fully conceal the object of interest only when the object is illuminated with just one color of light. However, sunlight and most other light sources are broadband, meaning they may contain many colors. The new device, called a spectral invisibility cloak, is designed to completely hide arbitrary objects under broadband illumination. So with metalenses, which is nanofilms as they call them, and this new concept, they should be able to make clothing and also armor plating and skin of ships invisible. That's what they're saying. Combining all the things that we've just looked at, researched today, it's quite exciting. But they say military are always like 20 years ahead of what current science, and they leak occasionally some information to scientists in the real world who then run with it and invent it. And there's always the rumor that silicon chips idea and fiber optics come from crashed UFOs. Now, we don't know if that's sci-fi or not, because man is quite clever what they come up with nowadays. So that's quite an interesting document. A lot of reading there, though. I'll probably have to wrap up soon anyway. Been going, what, 2.5 hours? And I have to go and do some stuff. Maybe I'll do a stream later on tonight as well. So it looks like there's only really one article, 2 articles maybe. Acoustic invisibility, so that's sound. So that's come out recently. So does that mean they can also make planes quite? Submarines and more, it says here. So not only light, but sound. Researchers have found a way to make materials that are normally opaque to sound waves completely transparent. The system involves placing acoustic relays at strategic locations so the sound waves can propagate at a constant amplitude, regardless of what may lie in their path. This method could eventually be used to make it possible to hide objects like submarines from sonar, I guess. How? So makes you wonder who funds all these projects. It's got to be military. Most naturally occurring materials have a disordered atomic structure that interferes with the propagation of both sound and electromagnetic waves. So this is tying in really again with invisibility of light as well. When the waves coming into the contact with these materials, they bounce around and disperse, and the energy dissipates according to highly complex interference pattern, diminishing in intensity. That means it's virtually impossible to transmit data or energy intact across wave scattering material and fully leverage the potential of wave technology. For example, you need to look no further than your smartphone. The geolocation function works less well inside buildings where radio frequency waves scatter in all directions. Other potential applications include biomedical imaging and geological surveying. It's important to be able to send waves across highly disordered media. So it goes on there a bit more reading. Using speakers to eliminate obstacles. In the researcher's system, the tiny speakers can be controlled to amplify and attenuate or shift the phase of the sound waves. That lets them offset the diffusion that results when the waves hit obstacles. So yeah, how does it work? Suppose you'd have to build it into, again, the skin of the submarine. Little speakers and scales, not only visible to light and infrared, but also sound. Researchers tested this system by building a 3.5 meters long anti-airfield tube and placing various kinds of obstacles such as walls. I suppose there's no video by the looks of it. No. Bit of a shame. I'll post that one on the side as well. Probably get deleted though by Google. We've got one person watching now. Hello out there. So I'm researching our current technology on cloaking, and now I found out about this cloak sound as well. I know we've got noise cancellation, but this is a step further, eliminating sound completely, I suppose. So, see, these would be all your fake sites, I guess. But it kind of makes sense if they've got some cloaking like we've just read. Then you wouldn't even see them in clouds. YouTube videos, lots of them. But that could explain why sometimes they get seen. That maybe some technical fault happens and they show up in the sky. UFO cloud, how stupid. Not to be confused with these are just natural forming clouds. I hate sites that put up garbage like that. Why are UFOs not invisible, but they are? That's my whole point. Did you know that aliens, that's right, could be man-made craft? That's what I've been saying too, stealth craft with cloaking. I think we're seeing a mixture of man-made stuff and probably alien, because I don't think years ago, 20 years ago, my friends saw a UFO shoot up in the sky, a silver craft shoot up and blink out as a star in a matter of seconds. I don't think 20 years ago we had this sort of technology to be able to do those incredible speeds. So it can only be extraterrestrial. I don't know if you guys go to Reddit, but it's quite a good site to join. They post a lot of UFO stuff and talk about stuff like this a bit. Speaking of which, I'm not sure if you heard, but Secureteam 10 created a fake account and made a video about being trolled, and it was actually him trolling himself. And I think you can find it by typing in Secureteam board. And he deleted that video, of course, once he got found out. And find the Reddit post. Secureteam Tyler caught faking. Go and have a read of that. I think I even posted my links to it. And I'll wrap it up on that post. Because the headphones are hurting my ears and I've got to go and do some stuff. might do another stream later on tonight as well. But if you have a read of this, I'm watching this video, which has been deleted. At 5:23, he shows a screen snapshot of an account he says is one of the trolls who posts negative comments on his videos, spreads hate, etc. But look carefully at the bottom of the screen. Notice plus channel description. That is only there for you when you are logged into your account, so you can add a description to your about section. You don't see if you click on someone else's account. Basically, Tolo was logged in on that account when he took the screen snapshot. Now go to 624. Again says that the comment is from Angry Truthseeker. Was made by someone higher up, as they mentioned the doctor that operated on his leg. Again, look carefully at the screenshot at the top of the screen. States top comments. Yet the comment by Ang Truthseeker was made 48 minutes ago and was 0 likes. So how is that comment under top comments and in between 2 comments? It shouldn't be there. Looks like Photoshopped comment. Actually, if you're logged in, it puts your last comment up the top. So it just proves that he was Angry Truthseeker, faking a post to himself so he could make a video saying that he's being attacked. And it's stupid. And if you go to it, it's probably deleted. Yep. Deleted by user. Doesn't it save that now? Yep. Now, everyone says, I'm a hater. So all these guys are too. He is well-known faker and hated by many who have done enough research in the topic to know the damage he has done. I feel this info I posted really needs to be seen by the masses. Hope someone with a lot of followers can tweet or share this. The blunders he made was just terrible. Preaching to the choir here, Secureteam is well-known hoaxes on the subreddit, my friend. So there you go. You can go and do your own research. In fact, the doctor that he talked about even wasn't his doctor in the comment on the video. It was actually a doctor for heart surgeries and not a bone doctor. It was a doctor in the same hospital. Toilet has uploaded blatantly fake CG videos under the guise of being real. So you don't have to take my word for it. Just go and do some research and you'll find thousands of people all saying the same thing. Nothing to do with slander. See, people still come and try and defend them. So they reckon he don't learn much, but he does. If you got lots of views, you make lots of money. Hey, Rene, you're back. What's up? I was just going to wrap up soon. It was only going to be like a 3-hour stream. Mostly talking to myself here though. I suppose everybody's else on their own streams today. Depends if they want to learn about UFOs and real science and what's going on. So yeah, plenty of stuff on Secureteam on Reddit. You just have to go and read it. Unfortunately, someone that did a video about it called Lion's Ground has removed it. So no one on YouTube will find out about it. But that's why I include it into my stream today, just to bring it up again. Now, there was a graphic which shows the screen snapshot that he did. Maybe we can find the account. So it's probably deleted it, has he? What year was that one? Was it Angry Truth Seeker? Oh, this is something else. A year ago. Yeah, it looks like it was something else. Pretending to be me. How can it pretend to be him? You can only create one account with the same name. You'd have to change the ending. I'll just see if there's some images of this fake account. Angry Truth Seeker. I think that was it, or part of it anyway. No. They're saying this JE33T is a fake account for trolling. But that's not the one I was looking for. But you have to find Angry Truth Seeker. No, it's not that one. I think I've got it in my files. Let's see if I can find it. I back up lots of things. They'll probably be here on the images somewhere. Hey, Rene, what are you saying? There was a UFO, it looked like a living cloud that was alive. It went behind an apartment building. Don't know about that. Was it a video? Because you know video can be faked. Did you see it with your own eyes? Let's see if I can find this thing anyway. Here we go. So this was the screen snapshot someone did, which proves that he was logged in as Angry Truthseeker when he posted the comment. So it's him pretending to be a troll. This channel is straight up psyop used for the gullible masses. How much is the government paying you, Taylor? Been on payroll long. Speaking of your motorcycle accident, Dr. Asher should have put a extra set of screws in your mouth. So he wrote that to himself and he got busted. And he creates fake accounts and trolls other channels like mine to try and scare people off. Because he makes at least 30,000 a month to 100,000 a month. Depends how well he's doing. I see his views have dropped off a wee bit. He's got 1.8 million followers, yet only 400,000 a day or less watch his videos. So what's that tell you? All those subscribers are not doing anything or realised it was rubbish and didn't unsub? Well, the other thing is, maybe most of them are bought subs to try and make his channel look the most important out there. And look, remember this video he made, he was pointing to Russia. And all these fake accounts, fake subs come from Russia when you buy them. So yeah, he faked it and what's that one here? So that was on Twitter. So yeah, well, there you go. So I thought I'd bring that up. Not only has he created fake leaker videos, he also fakes stuff like that, trolls. And you can see some of my images in there, some of other people's images in there, all with the word hoax, clickbait, fraud. UFO hoaxers piss me off. I think they piss off everybody. He was doing that one. Someone I haven't subscribed to. Truth Media Films. Secureteam releases fake follow-up interview on Cube UFO in Texas. This is a follow-up to my first video. UFO hoaxing is a big business online. Man, I feel a partial idiot. I fall for his shit all the time. Yeah, look, I have been here before, but I didn't sub to the guy. Oh well, I should sub to him. Three years ago. Loch Ness Monster. Let's post his link so you can go and have a watch if it looks like it's kind of funny. So he made this way before I did my debunks on Secureteam. So he hasn't found out about the leaker videos like I did. Anyway, I'll wrap it up there for today. I was saying, what's the bet? He talks about that Buzz Aldrin clip that's been doing the rounds on the web today on a video. So, yep. Thanks for joining us, Rene and whatnot. People can watch it offline, and I'll update the topic so people can skim to the various areas. So this time of the day is not very good, obviously. Everyone else is doing their own thing in the evening on Saturday. So let's just cue the music. Oh well, good night to everybody, or good afternoon here. Do like it. Should have started from here. Do click like and share if you want to keep the truth happening and expose the frauds and fakes out there. Hopefully we'll have Il join us soon, but he's just too tired this week to do a follow-up interview. But we'll see how it goes.